Good morning, guys. Jess here to talk to you about your Road Warriors programming for today. We are in week one of our new cycle, and I'll talk about our running specific work in a second, but first we'll get into your warm up. So, for your warm up, we're looking for 3 rounds. We're going to start with, it's going to be beautiful today, so ideally everything is done outside. To start, but obviously use your best judgment. Make sure you are wearing a mask, especially if you cannot avoid folks, if you can't stay that 6 feet away. So make sure you're wearing a mask. I know it's been a bit uncomfortable for me personally, but I've been making some adjustments. And know that with any of the work today, as you're wearing these masks or these face coverings, know that you just might have to slow down your intensity a bit, whether it's just with the warm up or with your running work that we've got later, right? So be smart about it. Listen to your bodies. Make sure you're not gonna, hyperventilate with that or the feeling of hyperventilating on that. So be smart about that. Okay, warm up for today. We're going to start with a 200-meter run, which is about the distance of one length of a block if you're going east to west. If you are going a north to south block, then it might be a down and back. So that's roughly about 200 meters there. Then we're going to come into a forearm to instep and then with a rotation. So I'll show you here from the side. I'm going to step forward with my left foot. My left elbow will come in towards my instep, and then I'll extend and rotate out. So from here, we'll go in and rotate. So I've also been calling this the world's greatest stretch. So similar movement here that we're looking for. We're looking for 5 on one leg and then 5 on the other. Second thing, we're going to get into some windmills. So a little bit of rotation here that's happening. To set up, I'm going to take a stand slightly wider than shoulder width. My front foot is going to angle out to the side. And then my front leg is it can bend a little bit depending on your flexibility, but what we're going to look to do, again, I'll show you from the side, I'm going to bump my hip back, not just straight out to the side. I'm going to bump my hip back out to the side as I extend my arm up, reach my front hand down towards the inner part of my leg and then come up to standing. So again, we're rotating, bumping hip, not just to the side, but out and back. As I look up towards my hand, back leg stays straight, and then I stand. So from the front, I'll show you guys again. Front foot is angled out to the side. Opposite arm is up overhead. I'm going to bump my hip back. So there's a little bump action that happens. And then I'm rotating down and up. So I'm looking to keep my torso relatively strong, my back relatively straight, meaning that I don't want to come down and just kind of round to get here. So I want to think keeping chest out, keeping your back as neutral as possible there. We're going to do 5 on one side. There's obviously no load here, so just at body weight. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. And then from there, we're going to do some single leg calf shifts is what I'm calling them. But from a tall plank position or a forearm position, we're just going to, so our forearm plank, bring one foot up over the other. You guys are just going to shift forward and then back to really push through that heel, a little stretch the calf forward and back. You'll do 5 on one side and then you'll switch, other foot comes up on top, 5 on the other. You can totally do these from a tall plank position as well if you want. So just shifting up and back. As you reach back, really dig through that heel. You'll feel a pretty good stretch through your calf. So that's your warm up. 3 rounds of that, 200-meter run, 5 each, forearm to instep with rotation, 5 windmills, and then 5 each of those plank calf shifts. When you're done with that, we've got our running work on tap for today. So we are doing a little bit of longer distance intervals. By longer for us in the CrossFit world, 800 meters is pretty long. So we are doing 4 intervals of 800 meters with a 4-minute rest in between intervals. So it's a relatively long time to rest here. It should allow you guys plenty of time to recover, with the goal of being consistent in your interval split time. So with each 800 meter, say it takes you about 4 minutes to complete, then you'll rest for 4 minutes. You're looking to do your next one at about the same 4-minute pace. Again, completely variable. Maybe it takes you a little bit longer. Maybe you're a little bit faster. That's fine. However, I do want to challenge you guys and encourage you guys to use nasal breathing for this. So Again, if you're using that face covering, it's probably going to feel a little bit awkward. So listen to your body in that, in how you're feeling. Slow down as needed so that you're not freaking out. I know, like I said, when I was doing it, when I was starting out with that, I was very resistant to wearing the face covering, but just had to make some adjustments. I freaked out the first time and I was like, oh my God, I am hyperventilating. And then I just slowed down, even walked for a little bit before I kept back on. So running work today, 4 sets of an 800-meter run and resting 4 minutes in between each one. Go with consistent split times throughout with nasal breathing. To cool down, when you're done, just take it into a 4-minute walk. So you use that last 4-minute rest period to walk it out. And then we'll get a little mobility here. We're going to go accumulating 10 minutes of couch stretch. So if you're making your way back home, maybe that 4-minute walk is back home, you can find a couch. You can definitely feel free to do this outside in the sun. But one knee comes down, back foot can come up along the couch, along a wall, along a tree, along a fence, wherever you're at. Front feet, oh, I'm going to switch because that knee gives me a little problem sometimes. From here, other foot comes up out in front, and then I'm just going to sit nice and tall. So I want to try to avoid a piked hip here. So think about squeezing your butt to stand tall, abs on here, and then just hold. You might even shift forward a little bit to get a deeper stretch through that front hip flexor. You might even bring your arms up overhead, but spend some time there in couch stretch. Anywhere, I like to say minimally 90 seconds, upwards of 2-3 minutes, depending on how comfortable you are. If you can't quite get fully extended, it is okay to bring your hand down with support, and then maybe from here, you push that knee forward so you can try to straighten out and extend your hips all the way. So that's your first movement. Next, we'll go into a lying figure 4. So maybe if you are outside, you find a little nice grassy spot. We're going to come to a flat back position. I'll bring one leg up, cross it up over my other leg, thread hands through, and then from here I can pull in, I can extend that leg out to the side. I can even turn that toe, ankle, whatever you got to do. But the more you kind of pull in, the more of a stretch you'll get through that opposite glute. So holding 90 seconds to a minute, 90 seconds to 2 minutes on one side, and then switching other foot in here that way, right? So, and then finally we'll do, since we are laying down, we'll just take that into a spinal twist. So from here, you could even kind of stick with your figure 4 here, and then maybe just take that over to the side. Whatever you need to do, you can bring both legs together. Just add a little twist action. I like to bring one leg up over the top and then take my opposite arm onto that knee so I can really get a good twist. You might even hear some back cracking. I don't know if you guys could hear that on my back. Again, just a little movement here from side to side. Once you're in a position, breathe. Maybe you're keeping shoulder blades down. If you're really popping that shoulder blade up too much, then don't go so deep. Try to keep shoulders glued down to the floor or to the ground where we're at as you come through these stretches. So that's your cool down, 4-minute walk. And then into those 3 mobility stretches. As a bonus, ideally, if you got out early before the crowds of everyone getting out to enjoy the beautiful day, you'll make it back in time, and bonus would be taking active recovery class at 10 o'clock. It's always a fun crew, and it always feels good. It's nice to have a coach guide you through some things that you know you should be doing on your own. Alrighty, guys, enjoy, post comments, tag me on Instagram, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.